Hey everybody, got a very interesting guest today on 15 Minutes of Fame. And think about 15 minutes of fame for a moment, guys. If you want to become famous and let me make you famous, think about a TV commercial would cost you over $30,000. And while the commercial was on, people would probably go and make a cup of tea. Um, or if you wanted 10 radio spots in your city, that might set you back between $3,000 and $5,000. You can come on 15 Minutes of Fame and I'll put you across 14 social media channels. I can't remember them all. Quora, Reddit, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course, YouTube with all your social media um, ways of connecting and make you famous and put you in front of thousands of people, all totally free of charge. Just like our next guest is a very interesting man. Um, so I'm going to start off here, and bear with me, guys. I'm in a bad light here. It's a bad storm at the moment. We have Vinaya, and Vinaya is going to tell you all about himself. He's in the health and spirituality industry, been doing this for a mere 30 years. So he obviously knows a bit more than what I do about this, and he's going to tell us all about his journey shortly. He says he can transform your life in just 4 to 6 weeks, and I need all that. But these personalized coaching programs are designed to help you break free from the inner obstacles and limited patterns that hold you back. Through tailored personal awareness, exercises, transformation, meditations, and tools uniquely suited for your journey. You'll work together and unlock your potential, align your life with your true destiny. Now, this is very interesting, guys, so why not reach out and have a chat to this gentleman? Let's create an extraordinary life for you deserve starting now. That's this year, guys. Key achievements: I've helped many people to achieve freedom from themselves. His personal modern philosophy is life's a mystery and needs to be lived, not understood. That's true, very true. Interesting fact about himself: at 22, I realized I didn't conform. He certainly does not. He's like me, he's a black sheep to society's expectations. So I embarked on a transformative journey to the Himalayas. Interesting. I've heard this story before, with a few $100s and a quest for a purpose. Over 7 years, I traveled through Europe and Asia seeking answers until I encountered I think it's Osho, whose teachings shifted my focus inwards. This led to a decade in Poona, India, where I immersed myself in personal development and eventually facilitated groups through this journey and my studies in tarot. On it, honed my intuitive abilities, allowing me to create a unique approach to psychic reading that reveals deeper truths. Now, that's all a mouthful for me, guys. But I get it. It's a very interesting journey because he's on a different journey from most of us. And, you know, I'm in the Philippines, guys, where you see people with one leg hopping around and they're smiling. You think about America, that they've got 3 TVs and they're worried whether one of them breaks down. They don't have the right mindset, and then in the Himalayas and people like that, people live a simple life, guys, and nothing wrong with simple. Do you need 3 TV sets? Do you need a car? Do you need half the things you've got? Do you need them? Probably not. A lot of time you're keeping up with the Joneses. But anyway, we're going to hop over now to my wonderful guest, and I'm going to find my paperwork, which is right here. And the time here is morning. And I'd like to say welcome to the show today. How are you? How are you today, Vinjaya?
Thank you. I'm excellent. It's my normal state of being, so to
Fan-
speak. It's always
Fantastic.
fun when you ask me how am I. My answer is always fantastic.
I like that. Fantastic. I knew someone that was his mantra. He'd say, fantastic. He really emphasized it, right? His name's Winston Marsh. He's a good friend of mine back in Australia. Anyway, let's get this show underway. Tell us about your journey, and it's a pretty bad mic you got there, but we'll do our best. Can you tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path?
Yeah, okay. So basically, I tried for 20 years to be a good German, which didn't work out for me. It didn't feel right. And I also understood if that is life, like being born, grow
Sure.
up, work, have children, work, and
Yeah.
die,
You
it
decide to
doesn't make
you decide to skip the system, right?
Yes, it didn't make any sense. And if
It
that
does
is
not.
life,
I agree with you fully.
then yeah, so I went on a search without really knowing what I'm looking for, and started off overland to India and traveled through India, and finally found somebody who found something else. And it was just an experience of wow, yes, there's more to life than meets the eye.
Yes.
And I started working on getting rid of my programs and becoming more present and more aware about myself.
Hmm.
And parallel to that, which brings me to my gift, so to speak, I was always a freak with crystals. I loved crystals. And
Right.
at one point, I met somebody in Hawaii who showed with a pendulum, like a person, like how far is your auric field going out if you have no
Yes.
jewelry. Then he put a Petrovsky crystal, which is like a lead crystal, onto that person, and the aura was gone. And
Awesome.
then he
Yeah.
put a fourth crystal on the person, and the aura was like 5 feet more out. And
Wow.
somewhat something clicked in me, and I was like, I know all that.
Mm.
And parallel to that, in the like further in the past, I came across tarot, which in the end didn't quite work for me. But then the crystals came to my mind, and the intuition said, well, just have a bunch of crystals in front of you and let people select some and then
Yes.
start talking. And I learned to be present. I learned to connect energetically with the people. And what always comes out, it's kind of a medium for that person. And what comes out is, what are the gifts of this person? How
Fair
do I
enough.
get them? How do I empower myself? What
On that
are the
on
next?
on that subject, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that?
The challenging aspect was my mind, who
Yep.
often goes like, you are full of it. How do
Yep.
you know? What
So
are you
powerful.
talking
Yep.
about? And through experience of the reaction and response of the people I give a reading to, I learned not to listen to my head and
Yep.
just to follow my heart and my intuition. And
And your gut,
through,
right?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah. They say listen to your gut,
besides
and
that,
that, how true it is.
it was not really a challenge. It was more like an overcoming of my, or not listening to
Of
my
your
mind.
mindset. Yeah, correct. You're hearing it, but you weren't listening, correct, at the time.
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't. And I learned to listen and learn to speak what comes
And go with the flow. Yep.
and go with the flow. And that created an amazing life.
Yes.
There are no problems. It's just like an amazing flow, with the understanding that I don't really have a clue where I'm going in the next 5 days.
Doesn't matter.
And
I tell people, forget the past. You can't control the future. Live in the present.
be just present. That's the trick. Be aware and be present.
Yeah,
Yes.
very
And
much
not
so.
identified with the stories which going on around me.
Yeah. Tell me an important moment in your career that virtually changed all this for you and changed your direction. What was that? What was that pivotal moment?
It was a moment where I suddenly was in a space of non-duality and remembrance of who I really am, which gave me the freedom to really help people and be totally relaxed.
Fair
It
enough.
was just wow. And I understood the cosmic joke of life. And
In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that have helped contribute to where you are today? What are the key qualities and skills that you believe are necessary? I guess be
the
willing to learn, be
ability,
open-minded.
yes, be open-minded. And the main part is to really not coming out of Vinaya, out of my ego, out of my
Sure.
personality,
Yeah.
being able to step aside and let the information come.
Yeah, I tell people you don't know it all. We often think our ego says we know it all, but one of my favorite mantras is we don't know what we don't know.
Right. And, excuse me, I understood that I really don't know anything.
Correct.
And at the same time, my intuition, my heart, my awareness knows everything and is not identified. So
That's
there's
right.
a complete relaxation of situations,
It's
life.
interesting how much of our mind we really use. It's just it's a science in itself. How much of our mind do we actually use?
Besides that, I also understood that the mind is an amazing tool if I want to repair a car or write a document.
Yes.
And it has no idea what my life is about and who I really am. It's
Mhm.
made for this world, but we are more than that. We
Yes.
are more than just the body, the mind, and the emotions. We are
Correct.
way more than that. And
Tell
the
me,
mind cannot go there.
how do you stay motivated and continue to learn and innovate in your field? What's the secret there?
Seeing the joy and the fire in the eyes of my clients when they really understand and experience that life can be an amazing adventure and
That's
that
right.
they're
If
actually
they're opening their
powerful.
mind up and willing to listen and learn, I get it.
Yes.
Tell me a recent project or achievement you're particularly proud of.
Nothing specifically, just my whole life. I'm not actually even proud of it. I'm just amazed where I'm going and how everything unfolded. Like for 50 years traveling around the world and totally being in the moment, not having a clue where I'm going, and being totally relaxed with it.
You're living the
It's
life. You're living a life. Now, I'll interrupt you for a moment, guys. The system is you go to school and you're around 14. They put you off out of there. You go off to high school. After a big school, you go off to university, right? Because you've got to get that diploma. You've got to have that bit of paper to get a job. So anyway, you go after school until you're 25, guys, to university, and you come out, there's 400 engineers come out at the same time. There's only 10 jobs. So 390 of you go and flip burgers at McDonald's or Burger King or something like that. You meet a waitress, you get married, you buy a car, you buy a house. For the next 30 years, you're paying that stuff off, right? And you're part of a system. The government loves you. You're part of a system. Well, our friend here today decided early in his life, like me, to break away from the bloody system. You don't need to be in the system, guys. You've only got one life. You're not coming back. It's not a dress rehearsal. So if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So my challenge to any of you out there, listen to this show today, come over to the Philippines and I will give you, I've got quite a few, but I've got two luxury condominiums overlooking Manila Bay, and I'll give you 7 days free accommodation here in Asia, in Manila, to get you started on the journey. So who's going to take me up on that challenge as we go along life? Anyway, back to this. You got me on my high horse about how the government tries to control us all. It's a game. Um, what advice would you give someone aspiring to sort of follow in your footsteps? What would you say for them to do?
take the understanding or understand that the life you've been living so far is actually not really fulfilling and it didn't quite work out. If I look inside and like, yeah, there's something missing, and yeah, that's not right. Understanding that gives you the power and the courage to step into the unknown and be in the moment
That's right.
and find
Yeah.
out really who you are and
There's
what
nothing to
your
fear
gifts
except fear itself, right?
are. There's nothing to fear. I mean, what can happen? Eventually, we leave the body, and in the meantime, do I want to be in misery or do I want to joyfully live and have this as an adventure?
Yeah.
And
And be
that's the
happy. Be
decision.
happy every day. Wake up happy. Imagine these people waking up miserable and then going off, having a shower, getting dressed, and taking a bus to work for an hour and a half, working a job they bloody hate for 20 or 30 years, then taking the bus back home again. Guys, that's not a life, guys. You know,
It's not
uh,
life. And we are scared, like what will happen if I don't have a job, if I don't make money.
correct. Yeah. They're
Experience.
existing. They're existing, trying to keep up with the Joneses when they don't have to keep up with the Joneses, right?
And
Look,
we don't want to do it because that doesn't fulfill us. But when we follow our passion, when we follow
That's
our
right. You
heart.
got the key word, passion. That's where it's at. You've got it. I've got it. We've found our place in life. We got passion. I'm 77. That's why I'm still doing this because I love it. It's a passion.
I'm 70 and I'm still, the only thing is really for me to help people on the path and bring them into this space of joy and awareness and presence. And seeing the light in their eyes when they really remember or understand how easy it really is. Just
Correct.
takes a little bit of courage
That's
to
right.
break free.
Yep.
And if we understand that, yes, I tried for an X amount of years to be normal, so to speak,
Yeah. What's normal?
we are, well, normal would be to do the normal thing,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go to
Take
work
your
every
partner to a
day.
restaurant for a date night, and both of you spend your night on a telephone and don't even talk to
Yeah.
each other. That's normal.
And we don't fit. We are all individuals. We are all different. We all have a
Absolutely.
different story. And
Yeah.
overcoming this or becoming aware of our programs, which are not us, it's one of the keys to have a life which is actually wonderful and amazing.
Absolutely. And if you're gonna please anybody, please yourself. Please yourself first, then you can please others.
Exactly. Who is the most important person in the universe?
Me,
Well,
me,
exactly.
me.
And and from that, we first take care of ourselves
Correct.
before we can take care of others.
Yeah, because we don't take care of ourselves. I tell you now, guys, at 77, I can tell you, no one's coming to save you. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. No one's coming to save you. Right?
No,
So save yourself. Looking ahead,
self.
what are your goals and aspirations for the future, my friend?
That is one of these funny things. I don't really have a goal. I
Yep.
just live the moment and see where existence or the flow brings me.
Yes.
And the
And you
one
use your
thing
life's
I
experiences to send you on a journey, right?
yes, and the only thing which would be my ideal, so to speak, would be to help more and more people to be on that path and be free and joyful and celebrate life and see it as an adventure and not a problem.
Well, my friend, this will help to keep spreading the word so people can realize they can break free from what I call the system. Like the
Yes.
pandemic, you were all told you got to stay home. Well, why were you all being sheep? Why were you all staying home? Why were you going to the airport and lining up 4 feet apart? Think about this, guys. The lines on the ground, you had to stay 4 feet apart, for an hour while you booked into your plane. Then you jumped on the plane, you all sat together. Tell me
Yes.
that makes sense. Right.
That's a different story. And
Absolutely.
for me, in that sense, it's like if we can think for ourselves and not
Yes.
being in fear, yeah, then all these things don't really matter, and we are not going to be programmed anymore or
That's right.
coerced into something which we don't really want to do.
Yeah, and I say to people, be kind to people and treat people the way you want to be treated. It's a pretty simple rule, guys. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And and you got when you're born, you got my favorite word, guys. When you're born, you got one thing, and that one thing is integrity. So just keep your integrity, right? That's that one
For
thing
me,
we've
the
all
only
got.
rule is live and let live. If you
Absolutely.
have a, if you have a different opinion or a different way of
Sure.
life, fine,
Good
no
luck.
problem.
That's right.
I
You'll
have
ho- you,
mine, you have yours,
Yeah,
and
and
we
you'll
can
hope,
live
and some people
together.
will hopefully see the light in due course. Like we grow up, sometimes we don't take a long while to grow up, right? Um, Before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself. You're an interesting character. Tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know, please.
Well, nobody knows me really besides me, and that's already a challenge. But the fun fact is that I really hope and pray that everybody sees life as I do, which is basically a cosmic joke and not taking anything seriously and having fun and laugh. Laugh at
I'm
myself.
laughing. You know why I'm laughing? Because most people, when they see the light at the end of a tunnel, they think it's a train, right?
They're right. And there's nothing to do besides living in the moment and being
Absolutely. And
present.
you're not coming back. It's not, I told you, it's not a dress rehearsal. And guys, for those of you who are on tablets and medicines, I'll tell you now, throw most of them away. The best medicine you can get, guys, in my opinion, and I'm 77 and going well, thank you very much, is water. Lots of water. Chicken soup, that's more water. It's chicken soup with veggies. It's got lots of vitamins in it. Sunshine and exercise. They won't fix a broken leg, obviously, but they'll fix most other things, guys. You know, water, chicken soup, sunshine, and some exercise, and you'll be in pretty good shape for a long, long time.
And on top of that, the mindset of
Correct.
not being stressed and having
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
life.
yeah. I've only got a small
Yeah.
TV. I need a big TV. I only got a small car. I need a big car. You know, uh, enjoy it, guys. You know, get out there and ride the donkey, ride the motorbike, do it all. You know,
Do what you feel like doing and be yourself,
that's the one.
even though it might be totally contrary to everything you've learned or
Yeah,
everything
you
everybody
don't have to
else
impress
knows.
anybody else except yourself. It's that simple.
Exactly.
My friend, you've
And
been
do
an
what,
awesome guest today because you got an alternate view, and then most people don't get it, and that's a bit sad. I go through life, I go through life knowing that most people don't get it, and I just smile to myself because I get it, they don't get it, and I'm having a wonderful life.
and that's fine. We all make a choice.
Absolutely,
If I have the choice or
I
make
I
the
choose
choice,
to be happy. That's my choice.
that's not just my choice. It's basically, I always say, I don't have a choice
Yeah,
because why would I choose misery? That doesn't make
absolutely,
any sense.
absolutely.
So,
But believe me, some people choose to be miserable every day of their lives.
no, I know. And I would love for them to step into joy and celebration for
Yeah.
this wonderful adventure on planet
Tell me, what's
Earth.
the best way for people, for any of my people out there who are watching or listening to this show? What's the best way to contact you and have a chat and get some joy in their life? What's the best way to do that?
Well, check my website, which is psychiccrystalreadings.com.
Yes.
And yeah, that would be the best and easiest way to contact
Yeah,
me.
and I'll be
There's a
putting I'll
contact
be putting
form.
all your links under our show, all across all the
Okay.
different platforms for you, including YouTube. And so that's it. I'm going to wrap it up for now. But guys, if you've enjoyed this today, I appreciate it. Make a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And I've interviewed hundreds of people from all over the world, and they're all just as interesting as this gentleman's been. So have a look at some of the shows, guys, and each one have a cup of coffee and relax for a while, and learn a little bit. And I learn something like these guests every day. I learn something. And thanks to my friend for the lesson today.
Thank you.